as an Arsenal fan, it's always been funny to see the signings that Chelsea make. But I feel like finally this window, we're about to see the power of the ownership and the sort of players they can bring in. You know, getting someone like Caicedo in was massive. Lavia was a fantastic signing. But they're still making the Estevals, Kennedy players who will definitely come good and they've got a lot of quality. But this news breaking, Chelsea are considering making a bid for Rodrygo. Other outlets are saying that Chelsea are going to make a bid for Rodrygo. As an Arsenal fan, I don't want to see this signing because this would just make Chelsea infinitely better. And making Chelsea infinitely better is exactly what you don't want to be seeing. You want to keep on laughing at Chelsea and say you keep spending money on the wrong players, you keep bringing in the wrong players. But ultimately, these sort of signings, like a Rodrygo, makes a lot of sense. It really does. If you look at that left flank, Chelsea need somebody who is a stat merchant. And Rodrygo can be a stat merchant. And, you know, outside of Palmer, when you look at the Chelsea front line, who's going to contribute week in, week out? Whether it's through creating space for others, whether it's assisting, whether it's scoring goals. Who is that player? I can't look at anyone. Neto has the quality to do that, but he's not shown it enough. Madueke has his times where he's fantastic. Jackson isn't quite consistent enough. But getting someone like Rodrygo with Cole Palmer in the side as well, someone with the experience of Rodrygo, the hunger of Rodrygo, that is absolutely incredible. I'm just thinking of a team where Rodrygo and Palmer are together. That would be an unstoppable duo, and it will be a statement as well to the rest of the Premier League that Chelsea, we're not just here to spend on the youth and pitter-patter about, but we're going to make these big signings, these Rodrigos, who's available for north of 80 million I've seen. That's a bargain for someone like Rodrygo. Anthony went for 100 million. You're telling me Rodrygo is going to be 80 million. As an Arsenal fan, I want Rodrygo at my club, but Chelsea are looking at him. And look at that, 23 goals contributions this year and 51 in a poor season. Before that, 25 and 51 in a okay season. 22-23 his best season. Nearly 30 GA in 57. I saw a stat saying he got 6 goals and 6 assists in 6 games in the left wing position. He's being forced out of his best position at Real Madrid. And I feel like someone like Chelsea can maximise Rodrygo, play him in the right position, and he'll shine. He'll shine. Players in their best positions shine. It's the reality of things. But maybe there's something else towards this deal. Real Madrid are interested in Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea fans, I want to know your opinion. What would you say about Rodrygo coming to Chelsea, Enzo going the other way? Because you've got Caicedo and Lavia. Do you feel like Enzo is would you put him in that same bracket of unsellable with the Caicedos and the Palmers? Or is he the tier below where, okay, if Madrid bid 120 million for him, are you as Chelsea fans accepting it? Are you thinking, okay, we take that 120, we can invest in other positions, centre half, we need a top centre half that can lead the back line, who's a bit more experienced for me. I feel like Chelsea can get all these attackers. They can't neglect the back four. I feel like 2 centre halves even, you know, would make a massive difference with wealth of experience, wealth of winning. But would you take Enzo Fernandez going to Real Madrid if you got Rodrygo and trust the midfield that you've already got? A Palmer, Caicedo, Lavia midfield is still ridiculously balanced. It really, really is. You know, and we're looking at Enzo Fernandez though. This season, I think he's been really, really good. Yes, he has his times where he's not consistent, but he's still young. He's still only 24 years of age, by the way. This kid, he's not a 28-year-old midfielder. He's still quite young. He's still leading Chelsea, you know. And in the run, he's turned up. Man of the match against Liverpool, whether you agreed with it or not. An assist against Fulham when they needed somebody to step up in that game, a tricky game. The goal to win the game against Tottenham. He's having really, really good performances. And is that someone you're willing to sell? You know, Beresca's already said you need more leaders in the dressing room. And Enzo is trying to be that leader. He's been given the responsibility of captaincy. Is he someone you want to be losing? And let me know down below because I'm genuinely interested. But I think Enzo Fernandez is top. If you can keep him, get Rodrygo in at the same time, that would be good. And the other thing coming out is Chelsea and Arsenal are interested in Gordon. Newcastle have a price of around 80 million. So it seems as though Gordon and Rodrygo are the main options. Nico Williams has been talked about, but his wages Chelsea don't really want to be paying that. But that's good. You know, Gordon and Rodrygo as options. We know Chelsea were interested in Gordon, you know, before he went to Newcastle. But obviously you would pick Rodrygo because, like I've said, Chelsea need a stat merchant. Someone who's going to come in, you can guarantee goals, guarantee assists, guarantee certain aspects. And Gordon is not bad. Last season, obviously this season's been injury ridden. He's not been at his best. 22 GA in 48 is very, very good return. Now, this guy's still only 24 years of age as well. He's hitting his prime. Can someone like Enzo Maresca maximize an Anthony Gordon? That's what you got to be thinking about when you're signing these players. How much can Enzo maximize him? Is Gordon used to playing against low blocks and mid blocks? Rodrygo certainly is at Real Madrid. He can play tight touches. He can receive in the half turn. He's got great ball striking. Chelsea already have Sancho as well. I keep forgetting. Sancho can play off the left. Mudryk, sorry. Then you've got a Gordon or a Rodrygo coming in. Would you be happy with that cohort of three? Gordon can play off the right. Rodrygo can obviously play off the right and centre forward. That would be a mean, menacing attacking line. I feel like that would be enough to really push Chelsea for a short little title charge and solidify, again, Champions League football next season. I feel like it will be a lot clearer and a lot easier for Chelsea to get next season if they get in these players that they're sort of targeting, because I really, really rate it. And obviously the last bit of stuff is Manchester United held face-to-face talks with Delap. Delap also is going to speak to Chelsea before deciding who he wants. And to be honest, I think this is very dependent on the Champions League situation for both clubs. If none of them get it, he goes to Chelsea. I think Chelsea is the move for him. If both of them get it, I think he goes to United. I feel like you're looking at the United forward line, but then the Chelsea one ain't any better, to be honest. But if I'm Delap personally, I'm choosing Chelsea. More stability, great little team that they're building. You're getting more guaranteed minutes, to be honest. You know, obviously Højlund is there and Xerxes will probably start ahead of them. But Chelsea just makes sense. You're looking at Cole Palmer as well, who's already there. The link-up that can be there. For me, if I'm Delap, without a shadow of a doubt, I am choosing to make that move to Chelsea. And again, we're talking about a striker who's going to guarantee goals. Delap, 14 GA and 39 for a poor Ipswich side. He bullies defenders. He's strong. He's aggressive. Ball striking is world class. These pure fundamentals, you want to buy the dip before it gets high. Have you ever heard of that saying? That's what you want to do with Delap. He's going to be a really, really good centre forward. You put Delap in the Portuguese league, I really believe he would be getting the same numbers as Gyökeres. That's how good and how highly I rate someone like Liam Delap. And whoever gets him is going to get a top centre forward who can play in different game states, low blocks, counter-attacking football, hold the ball up and relieve the pressure. Different ways of playing. Delap can adapt himself to suit it. And yeah, I kind of drafted out this team. Obviously Palmer, you guys like him more centrally, but Neto, Madueke, you can make it what you will, but I'm just want to focus on Rodrygo, Delap, Palmer as a front three. That would fill me with fear when I play Chelsea. If I saw that front three, I'm thinking it's going to be a tough day for my team. The back line definitely needs some work, but I'm sure Chelsea will get that sorted. Top centre half, and hey, you guys can be looking very, very positive for next season. But anyway, that's it for now. I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, peace.